What's up everybody, AnimeX here, and in this video, I'll be starting yet another new What If on the channel in the 2020 grind. So, due to this being something that I'm not sure will perform the best, I'll just keep the like goal relatively low at 500 likes, just in case you guys don't really care for it. I do think this is a cool concept, and it's something I want to at least let flourish a little bit so I can flex my storytelling abilities. But anyways, as usual, with my new what ifs, I will be giving you guys some background info on the what if and seeing how this would basically differentiate this story from any other what ifs. Basically, in the amount of info that I would need to establish might be slightly more extensive than usual, but after that, we'll jump right into the story. So, without further ado, let's get started. Now, before we jump into the story, a few things that need to be established first is basically, first of all, Hashirama keeping the Biju has many implications in the story. The most immediate is that no other village has a tailed beast, making Konoha the strongest village on all the nations, but this also results in many other villages forming alliances in an attempt to steal the Biju from the other village, seeing them as basically a military way to assure their safety. Now, this results in constant wars that plague the Leaf Village. I'll get into the lore of the new story when I hop into it, but the next thing I just want to explain is that Madara and Hashirama's encounters go similar to how they do in the original, with Hashirama winning his fight and almost killing Madara. Meaning that the interaction between Hashirama and Madara in their era is going to basically go the same, and the implications really kind of trickle down to like Minato's era and Naruto's era. So that's where will be taking place for this what if. The next and final thing is that certain tailed beasts will be given to certain clans due to nature affinities or other unique abilities like that specific clan may possess or whatever. It will be explained more in the lore that I will be establishing right now, so let's jump right into it. We now jump into this what if, a few years before the story of Naruto would truly start in the original. We have Hiruzen, Minato, along with the rest of the higher-ups in the village in a meeting room, talking and conferring with each other. Lord Danzo, once again, you must remember that Minato's son will be the one to inherit the nine-tailed beast. He will have the Uzumaki heritage, and that is why he must be the one to control the strongest beast. Hiruzen says this to Danzo, who can't seem to accept the fact that the current Hokage's son will have the strongest, basically, tailed beast, and as a result, the strongest Genin. With all due respect, Sarutobi, I don't think it's fair that the Hokage should have all the power directly underneath him like this. Minato clears his throat and speaks up. As current Hokage, I'm the one who's most trusted among the villagers, and keep in mind that no other clan can even survive the Nine Tails being inserted into them. So what else do you propose, Danzo? Danzo just retracts his previous arguments, as Minato has made a good point. Now, what we need to do is find out how we're going to distribute the other eight-tailed beasts, because so far, every other generation before has seemed to botch this up. We've butchered this every time we've done this. Minato says this as he gets up. Should the Uchiha be entertained with having the idea of the eight tails the next strongest tailed beast in order to show that we respect them now? Danzo objects to this, saying that the Uchiha are unstable and can't be trusted with a beast that could rival Kurama. Minato then looks at Danzo with a suspicious look. First, Kurama is not going to be rivaled, or the Kyuubi isn't going to be rivaled by any other tailed beast, even if they were all combined, but whatever. Okay then, how about the two tails? It's clearly a beast that has an affinity for fire, and the Uchiha fit right into that alley. Danzo begrudgingly agrees along with Hiruzen and the other elders. Hiruzen speaks up as he has a question. What beast should be given to the Hyuga? We all know how prideful that clan is. If we don't give them a strong-tailed beast, they will hate us and possibly revolt. Minato thinks about this for a second, pondering. We'll come back to them, but their Aburame clan will have the seven tails. It is a bug-like creature, so it only makes sense. They may have an affinity to controlling it. The Nara clan can have the one-tailed beast, seeing as how it's a tanuki, it will require a clan just as cunning to keep it in check. The Akamichi clan can have the three-tailed due to their abilities somewhat matching up. Sarutobi speaks up, mentioning an idea for the Hyuga to have a tailed beast. He says that the five tails could work, since that seems to be the most domesticated version of any tailed beast, therefore it won't fight them too much against a seal, so the Hyuga's clan's spectacular chakra control manipulation would be upheld and not basically tampered with too much. The Yamanaka clan could have the six tails. When Minato asks Hiruzen why, he explains that the beast uses bubbles and things of that nature that could possibly pose as distractions for the mind transfer jutsu that they are known for. That leaves two final beasts, the eight tails and the four tails. The 8 Tails is said to be able to go to the Unizuka clan for no reason but to strengthen their taijutsu abilities and hopefully bring the clan strength up to the others in terms of their abilities. The 4 Tails isn't given to a clan and is said to be held and restrained away for the time being. It is restrained by a seal that Minato has placed on it in order to keep it docile for now until they can find another strong individual that is trusted by the Leaf in order to give them the strength required to fight. Now, it is basically being held for a strong ninja. After this meeting is adjourned and everyone goes about their business as they wait for the next children in the clan to be born, they move forward with sealing them into the hosts. During this time, many clans seem to be having children around the same time as Naruto, albeit a little bit earlier for some cases. Now, some of you may be wondering, or scratching your heads like, why would they give some of the weakest clans the strongest tailed beasts? The reasoning for this is to equal out the power structure within the village. For example, the Uchiha clan is already one of the strongest clans in the village, and it's also one of the least trusted, so the only way that they don't gain too much strength within the village is to limit them with a weaker tailed beast. Similar things occur with the Hyuga. The only difference is that the Hyuga are more trusted and they have a little bit more leeway with the amount of power that they're able to hold in the village. So extremely weak clans like the Unizukas would have to have a very strong tailed beast in order to keep up with that at all. And with that quick explanation out of the way, let's jump right back into the story. Now, after many clans have had young children, the tailed beasts are basically getting distributed. Shikamaru becomes a Jinchuriki of the One Tails, becoming the one who has to deal with Shukaku. Sasuke, when he first is born, gets a 2 Tails, gaining Matatabi as a result. Choji gets a 3 Tails. Neji would have gotten the 5 Tails, but due to him being a side branch member, the tailed beast is given to Hinata, giving her the 5 Tails. Ino is given the 6 Tails. Shino gains the 7 Tails on the behalf of the Aburame clan. Kiba gains the 8 Tails for the Inuzuka clan, and this leaves only 2 tailed beasts who haven't found their hosts. This basically leaves the 4 Tails, which is still being held by the seal that Minato has on it to keep it temporarily contained, even without a host, and the 9 Tails, which is still sealed within Kushina. This is all before the attack on Konoha from Madara happens though. When this happens, many similar events to the original happen with a little bit of a twist. Before Minato fights Obito, he does make a Shadow Clone to go retrieve the 4 Tails to go find a host and seal it. Basically that way, the problem doesn't grow any worse with the 9 Tails already on a rampage. While Minato fights off Obito, his Shadow Clone performs a Reaper Death Seal on the 4 Tails, carrying its chakra within him as he runs throughout the village and hears a crying infant. And, in a fit of absolute desperation with no other children basically in their infantile state that could actually take on the tailed beast at this time, basically Minato has to do something. He goes to the parents that are holding the baby and begs them, tailed beast needs to be sealed within a host before I die, or many more will be killed because of another rampage. I beg you, let me seal the 4 Tails within your child. Now this may seem like a weird request to you, and granted, it is. Minato's literally asking if he could seal a demon monster within its baby. But due to Ninja having a large sense of pride and them understanding that Minato's a very noble Hokage, basically Minato, when saying this, realizes that how much of a reach this is due to him being at his limit, but the parents both being ninja and having a sense of duty to the village like I've said, accept this as the clone of Minato seals the 4 Tails within the child, and he falls down. Thank you. The village is in your debt. He then poofs as Minato is stabbed by the claw of the 9 Tails, killing him and Kushina. But not before Minato takes a risk with Naruto's safety, and decides to heal the entire 9 Tails within Naruto, clearly hurting the infant version of Naruto, making him scar on his stomach. But Minato holds back his feelings because he knows that without the 9 Tails, someone as sneaky as Danzo would not allow Naruto to live. Me and your mother love you so much, Naruto. Never forget that. Minato then coughs up blood and dies with Kushina in his arms. We now skip forward 12 years into the future, just to when the start of Naruto begins. In these 12 years, many things have changed, and the Leaf Village has fallen on tough times due to many other villages waging war on the Leaf. During these times, the Jinchuriki are looked at as the reason for the village's suffering, and are hated by most people of all the commoners within the village. This Leaf Village, however, is a much different type of place than the one that takes place in the original world of Naruto. Due to Minato dying and her reason being a pushover as Hokage, Danzo is basically taking control of the village and directs all the tailed beasts to start their training together immediately. This results in Naruto, along with the rest of the people that I've mentioned, joining together for the first time, revealing themselves. I'm Shikamaru Nara, and I have the 1 Tails. I'm Sasuke Uchiha, and I have the 2 Tails. I'm Choji Akamichi, and I have the 3 Tails. The four-tailed Jinchuriki that Minato suddenly picked then steps up into the light, revealing himself. I'm Rock Lee, and I have the four tails. And even though I can't use ninjutsu or taijutsu, I vow to be a splendid ninja. Everyone looks at Rock Lee a little weird, but then they continue. I'm Hinata Hyuga, and I have the five tails. This continues on until we get to Naruto, and the Jinchuriki of the nine tails steps up. I'm Naruto Uzumaki. I have the nine tails, and I'm going to become Hokage. Believe it. Naruto then steps down as all the children start talking to each other a bit. Somewhat socializing, although all of them seem to be weird. Danzo then walks into the clearing with a hideous grin on his face. Let us begin, young weapons. And that, everybody, is where I'm going to end part 1 to the What If Hashirama Kept the Biju. I know this was like a very, very short what if, especially for like what I usually do with like my 15-minute what ifs. This one I just kind of had to crank out very quickly. I will make sure that the next part will be a lot more substantial. I also just didn't know how you guys would receive to this, so I didn't want to make like a whole 20-minute video and just you guys just hated it or whatever, right? Hope you guys don't. Usually you guys don't, but whatever. We'll see. Hopefully this gets enough traction so I can continue this as a series, seeing as how I think this idea and the way I've set it up premise-wise is relatively interesting. Now, leave a like on this video if you do want to see another part to it within a week. You know, as usual, body that like button, body slam it, comment your what ifs down below because I am much more open to hearing what ifs now that I'm on my grind, on my daily, bi-daily, all that type of stuff. I am feeling pumped to do content, right? More pumped than I probably have been in a long time. So, let's keep this streak going. You guys fuel me with your comments, your good words of encouragement, and I'll keep going with that. If you guys do want to interact with me on a more personal level, I will leave links to my Discord, Instagram, Twitter, Patreon, all that kind of stuff down below, along with maybe an update video in a few days on basically how this big project that I've been mentioning here and there is going. I will let you guys know once that is completed, and basically I may tell you what it is in like a stream or whatever, but we'll figure all that stuff out in a little bit. Alright, anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and as always guys, this is AnimeX signing off.